1, 2, 3, 4.
We're here at the James Beard House with Jeremy Langlois. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely my pleasure. I'm so excited to be here.
So tell me a little bit about your restaurant. It's a restaurant, it's a plantation.
I'm coming from Darrow, Louisiana, which is a tiny city on the Mississippi River located just between New Orleans and Baton Rouge and right on the Mississippi. And where I'm coming from is Houmas House Plantation. 35 acres, lush gardens, alley of oak trees leading up right to the front door. Just think of whenever you're standing on the property, it's like being transported through time. And there we have 3 restaurants on the property, with our flagship restaurant being Latil's Landing.
So at Latil's Landing, you do a lot of classic Southern food, but you also do a tasting menu. You change the menu a lot.
That's correct.
Tell me a little bit about how you go about planning the menu for a place where people are expecting something classic, you know, they're at a plantation, but
Sure.
also where you want to show a little bit of what you're cooking as well.
Well, you know, I'm all about Cajun and Creole cuisine. That is really my specialty and what I've pretty much trained and dedicated my entire craft to doing. But within that, what's great about Louisiana cooking is we really draw upon 7 different nations of culture that we get to pull from. There's so much history in Louisiana cooking, whether it be influences from French, Italian, British, African, Native American, German, Spanish, all of them play a role in the cuisine. And you know, whenever people think Louisiana cuisine, of course they're going to think gumbo,
Right.
which we do,
Right.
gumbo and things like that,
How
which
could you
we
not?
have. But at the same time, how I've always approached the cuisine at our restaurant is I also want to try to offer something new and something different. So yeah, of course we're going to have we have gumbo and things like that, but you're not necessarily going to have something like shrimp remoulade or crawfish étouffée every day or something. That's very traditional. What we're trying to do is just kind of move the cuisine forward a little bit. We honor and love our past, but also think how can we use these beautiful ingredients from everything from the fresh seafood from the Gulf of Mexico to the sugar cane that's growing right in our backyard. There's an old great Cajun man, they're not far from up, his name is Papa Tom, and he has a stone ground grist mill, and he grinds our grits on this grist mill. I think it's one of the few operating stone grist mills that is operating in the country, and he makes our grits for us. That's just one example. We have in St. James Parish, we get all of our cheeses and things like that from the St. James Parish Cheese Company. You know, I actually get inspired by all the great things that people are doing around, and I try to just showcase their ingredients, because anything that I can pull from within a 20-30 mile radius from where the plantation is, that's what I try to do.
And let's also talk about New Orleans versus Baton Rouge, because you're right in between them. So
Yeah,
how do you think the dining scene is different for people who are visiting Louisiana if they're going to both places?
Well, New Orleans, I mean, it's one of the greatest food cities in the country. So I mean, that's just what it is. There's no doubt about it. I love Baton Rouge cuisine. I'm from Baton Rouge. That's where I was born and raised up. But really, it's more of a difference of, you know, the difference between Cajun and Creole cuisine. A lot of people sometimes don't know the difference. But Creole cuisine is really the cuisine of New Orleans. Creole means Crayola, or a mixture of colors, and that was just all the different influences of all the different nationalities that settled right there in New Orleans. And when the food that they were doing in New Orleans, kind of the aristocratic food, that's Creole cuisine. So whenever you're eating jambalaya, that's a Creole dish. That was Spanish people trying to recreate paella, but not having all the ingredients from Spain, so using local ingredients like andouille sausage and shrimp and seafood and chicken and things like that, and it became jambalaya. That's the jambalaya. Now Cajun cuisine, which I love as well, is more of, that was the kind of in the country, in the swamps cuisine, and that was the, you know, people who were hunters and trappers and just hunting all that great food, whether it be alligator or turkey or wild pig and things like that. So all your charcuterie and your boucherie, the roasting of the pig, all that is very Cajun. Gumbo is a very Cajun dish, because that's a one pot meal that a family would cook over an open fire in a cast iron pot in the country. So that's kind of the difference between the two cuisines.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for not only telling us about your restaurant, but illuminating the differences.
You didn't know you were going to hear the history lesson.
No, I really liked the history lesson. I think the viewers I think people really wanted to know the difference. So really appreciate you taking the time here at the
Pleasure
James
is
Beard
all
House.
mine. Thank you so much.
See the remedy, the other runs by through water and it runs right smack into the deep blue